It's Black Friday. Let the consumerism consume you. Please. Yeah. Guys, you don't want to be doing this. It's Black Friday. You don't want to be running around doing this nonsense and killing each other. But you know what I'm going to do to start off Black Friday? I'm going to go, what's the thing that everyone's looking for? A Cosmo or something? What's that thing called?
Yeah, the Cosmo robot.
Yeah, I'm going to
like
go find the Cosmo robot, and I'm going to get there, and I'm going to grab as many as I can because I'm bigger than most people in this part of the world, and also I'm far more aggressive than everybody around here. I'm going to grab as many as I can, and then I'm going to start the grandest mosh pit ever. It'll be like a free chiropractic adjustment. That's my plan, and then once I'm done, I'm going to throw them all in the trash and then watch people fight over them. It'll be wonderful. Ugh.
East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast, word. All right, so what we're going to do in this video is we're going to cover some of our favorite deals and tell you guys where we think the best deals are going to be. I'm also going to cover, the news. We're going to do that. And then at the end of the video, we'll talk about gaming. I'll do some inbox questions here. Justin will also be here, and he and I will both tell you what we are going to be looking for this Black Friday. And it's kind of probably weird stuff. I don't know. Maybe weird stuff. I'm going to cover some of the weird stuff. You only buy weird stuff?
That's it.
That's it. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
So stay tuned to the end and make sure you watch that crap. All right, anyway, let's talk about the deals. Now, we do a pretty good job on, crit.tv of categorizing the deals. We partner with Deals On. So you guys can go over there and just go to crit.tv/deals, and it'll bring up all of the deals. Right now, the two that I think are really interesting is the Zotac GTX 1070 for only $344. I haven't seen a better deal on the 1070 pretty much anywhere. So if you guys want some like extreme high power gaming, for nice big 4K monitors or even 1440p gaming, go ahead and check out that Zotac GTX 1070. And then there's a bunch of game deals listed here, like Sid Meier's Civilization. Actually, a lot of people are saying that that's the best Civ game yet. I really like 4 and I really like 2, and 3 was pretty good too, but I haven't played part 6, so let me know what you guys think of that. Price is down. It's $43.91, still pretty high, but it's better than the list of 60. Also, you guys can see there, Street Fighter is at like a pretty good low price of $25, and then just a whole bunch of other things on there. There are lots of video game deals, so we're going to cover video game. What's wrong with me? I know what I need to slow down a little bit. Everyone says that I'm on crack. So guys, in order to counteract the crack, I've talked to Spock, and we have the Vulcan Ale here. It's a session IPA, red session IPA that is, from New York. How about that?
Where'd you get this beer opener from?
Oh, I bought this on epicpants.com. You guys can get your own. I've used this one a few times. This thing's substantial. You could hurt a man.
Wow, it's like there are so many cool things over at epicpants.com right now, especially new t-shirts.
We have, yes. We're going to cover the gaming deals first, and then we'll cover the hardware deals. So, yeah, you guys can skip a couple minutes if you don't care about games, but for me, I buy the hardware to play the game, so this looks great. Fascinating. That actually is very good. Oh, my God. That might be the best red IPA I've ever had. Sorry, Dawn of the Red, this might be better. The Genesis effect is what it says. Guys, head over to Good Old Games, which is GOG.com now. Really good game deals over there. They got their Black Friday sale going on. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, one of the best sort of open world-esque RPGs ever made. That's on sale for $5. Tons of replayability, even though it's old. Day of the Tentacle. We've got, Shadowrun Hong Kong. So a lot of really interesting deals over there. Moving on over to Steam. The Steam Autumn Sale just started, and that's going to be going on, now through November 29th. Let's talk about the less obvious places. The Humble Store. They usually have some decent deals, but, just keep an eye on the Humble Store and see what's going on over there. If you guys are a fan of Green Man Gaming has some really good deals. Most of these are Steam keys, but some of them are just like, DRM-free things that you can buy. One of the cool things about Green Man Gaming is if you go over to crit.tv/deals, you can usually find the best deals from Green Man. What's Geen Man? Geen Man? From Geen Man Gaming. I don't even know what accent that is. You guys can usually find the best deals all posted there. So just remember crit.tv/deals. You guys can go there any day of the year and find really cool deals. Next up, if you guys want more game deals, here is a Twitter that I follow, and I think you should too. It's called Bundle Tracker. It's just at Bundle Tracker, and Bundle Tracker tracks bundles. That's pretty much all it does. So go there and check it out. There's other things, like contests and stuff that they post. Now, as far as hardware deals go, well, there's a couple different places. One place that you can start is over on Reddit. Go to reddit.com/r/ it's build a PC sales, not build a PC. Build a PC sales and then /new. That'll give you a list of, stuff that you can keep up with. But let's go through more specifics, shall we? Here's the Zotac GTX 1070 that we mentioned right there on eBay. Get it for a pretty good price. See price and checkout. All right, so you can buy it now and see the price, but it's a good price. Also, Sapphire has some really good deals on a couple of different cards. The RX 480 is going for $222 after a damned mail-in rebate. If you guys can suffer through that crap, yes, they have a good deal. You can get it on, Amazon. They also have it on Newegg. But this one is really catching my eye right now. It's the Sapphire Nitro R9 Fury 4GB card. But this one is extremely fast. It's one that we just put into, Justin's system with the Intel engineering sample. $259. The rebate going on, and then it comes down to $239. So that one will allow you to do most games at 4K plus free sync. Guys, there's plenty of links to really awesome curved monitors, just all kinds of things on our Deals On page on our website. So go check that out if you guys want monitors and stuff like that. I just wanted to hit the, mainly the graphics cards. Now, I know a lot of people need new phones, so the OnePlus 3 is probably going to be coming down in price a little bit. Right now, it's still kind of high, but OnePlus, they just announced, the OnePlus 3T or whatever it is. They have the new phone coming out. So keep an eye on the OnePlus 3. All right, now I mentioned that we were going to get a little weird here. We're not just going to stick to the standard stuff. Let's go over to AliExpress. Now, AliExpress is sort of like the Amazon, whereas Alibaba is like the resource for people to go online and source goods. AliExpress is the front end. It's like the store. Now, on here, you can get lots of phones straight from China, where all the phones are made. OnePlus is made in China. Everything's, except for Samsung, they're made in Korea and stuff. But go over here and take a look. The brands I would probably look at are Xiaomi. You guys can pretty much just take the Blackview phones are actually pretty good too. I've played with those. They're from a company from Hong Kong. I haven't played with a lot of these brands here. But Xiaomi and Huawei are two that I would really look at, and also the Blackview phones are pretty good. So when you go over there, you pretty much have to click on the individual phone, look at the specs, and note that a lot of phones that are really low priced have really good processors, but they don't have any GPU capability. So if you want to play games on them, you usually have to spend over a couple of $100. But still, you can come over here and grab some of these phones for really cheap. So take a look at AliExpress for those sorts of things. Next up, I want to mention gaming mice. Now, Zowie is probably my favorite manufacturer of gaming mice. I also really like Myonix. But just if you're looking for a new mouse that's minimal, no frills, down to earth, gets the job done, and has a nice infrared sensor, take a look at some of their mice. The EC1, EC2, FK2 is also a pretty nice mouse. So those are nice, and also one that's really going to, I think, drop a couple of bucks here on Black Friday. I'm not sure, but keep a lookout for the SteelSeries Rival, a really well put together mouse for the money. And I would expect the price maybe to come down to around $39 because historically it has dropped, on sales here and there. Next up, if you're looking for a camera and you want to do some video and some photography, take a look at the Lumix DMC G7. Now, this is a mirrorless 4K camera that comes with a lens, but it's got a lot of the features that some of the bigger cameras have that are way more expensive, like the GH4 and stuff. And the video that comes out of this thing looks really awesome. So if you're starting like a YouTube channel or, you want to get up and running, making videos, doing some photography, this is a pretty good starting point for the money. It's not quite as good as some of the full frame options right there, but, it's a good price. Enough of the deals for now. Feeding Frenzy needs to calm down at least until Monday when we have Cyber Monday deals. But right now, let's go ahead and talk about some hardware news. And then we've got culture, and then we've got some gaming. So first off, hardware news. Pretty interesting rumors floating around out there that Intel's new Skylake EP flagship Xeon is going to be 32 cores. That's 64 threads of ridiculousness. And they're trying to do this to, I guess, counteract the AMD server platform that's going to be coming out called Naples. Because, we got AMD starting to finally maybe come out with something. Maybe Zen's going to be good. Maybe. How many more times can I freaking say maybe?
6.
6 more times. I have 6 more. I'm not going to waste one right there to demonstrate it. I don't know. Maybe I will. It'll be interesting to see what shapes up if AMD can provide some competition. Maybe. 2. All right. Speaking of processors, let's talk about ARM, and let's talk about x86, and let's talk about Windows and all the problems therein. So Windows, throughout all the generations, they have built a huge library of x86 products. And when you think Windows, you don't just think of the operating system. You think of all of the different programs that you can run, and 99% of those are in the x86 environment. They made an ARM tablet that kind of failed, different ARM processor powered versions of Windows that kind of failed. And the reason being is that all of the programs that were on those, they all had to be the Windows Universal Platform, which is like their new thing, the bubbly new store interface that I'm sure some of you guys have seen out there. So if they want to go small and they want to go into the tablet world, they really need x86 emulation. Now that hasn't been the easiest thing to do because ARM has, up until recently, not been powerful enough. You have a bit of a performance hit when you go from x86 to ARM because you're doing emulation. But with new stuff like the new Snapdragon 835 and different stuff coming out next year, it looks like Microsoft may be working on some x86 simulation. So now we can have the x86 programs and the old school exe programs and whatever running under ARM. And this tweet here from The Walking Cat, check this out. Right, here we go. We've got, looks like we got some higher x86 on ARM stuff. The technology name for it is CHPE, which he quips might be called the Compound Hybrid PE. What's the PE stand for? Why can't you just PE?
Physical education.
Phys ed, right there. Compound Hybrid.
Still important years later.
Yeah, it still is for emulating stuff. I guess the bottom line is if you wanted one of the Surface stuff tablet things that were only on ARM. But you looked at it and you were like, ugh, it only does the Windows Universal Platform stuff. Maybe now you'll be able to grab one. All right, so if you're in Britain, nothing is allowed anymore. Non-conventional sex acts are to be banned very soon from internet viewership. So this has already been banned for a long time, I guess, when it comes to DVD rentals and that sort of thing. But I guess the amount of policing that they do over there for you guys kind of makes me worry, from several different levels. So let's just chit chat about this for a minute. So first off, a couple of years ago, we had the whole hey, we need the internet blacklist because we want to make sure that all these things are blocked. So, and they always throw out terms that are just way over the top. Like we're trying to protect the children from sexual predators and child pornography and all this kind of stuff. But they're really censoring a large swath of the internet. Now with the blacklist, you were able to call and say, listen, I'm an adult, and I want to look at weird things on the internet. Can you please give me access to all these terrible porn websites? And I was, thinking, for a Brit, that's got to be a really awkward phone call because you have to call and tell them to turn off your blacklist and prove your age and all that sort of thing. So you're like, yeah, I'm talking to a stranger here, and I'm going to tell you that I'm really into some freaky stuff. So can you give me the kink, please? Well, now you can still look at porn, but, spanking that leaves marks, caning, urination, all kinds of weird things are now going to be disallowed from viewing because that's just what? Doing what? With what? With whom? We can't let people see that. So it's becoming sort of a nanny state over there, and they're telling grown adults what they can and cannot look at. And here's what I think the blowback from this is going to be, because I always like to take a step back and look at okay, what are the ramifications going to be? When you look at places like Japan, that's more sexually repressed in a lot of ways publicly, but they allow a lot of things online. They still have some censorship and that sort of thing. But let's look at their culture that sprang up around that. Like the fact that people are not dating and having sex as much. The child birth rate is down. There's a lot of weirdness around all that kind of stuff. When you stand back and look at that, and then also we can look at the Bible Belt in the USA because there's a lot of weirdness and guilt associated with sex and all this kind of stuff culturally. Well, you end up getting a blowback from that, and that's just extra strip clubs, weird fetish clubs. People pushing the boundaries. If you take things that are normal with adults and say no, taboo, it's secret, get it away, I think that there is going to be ramifications and blowback. So let me know what you guys think over there in London. What do you think is going to happen with this? Is this going to push things underground? But people still do what they want to do, right? I don't know. Some things need to be policed, some things don't. So it's a lot of gray areas. And then do you really need a nanny state? Or do you guys need the government to wipe your ass for you? All right.
I feel like the UK would ban a video of someone wiping their ass for them, though, under these new...
I don't know.
Yeah. Someone's going to get after that.
Get off of that! Get off of that!
So President-elect Trump, or, Donald Ragnarok Trump as we know him around here, he has appointed Mark Jameson as his FCC advisor, which is a person who tells him what to think about the FCC because Donald Trump's too old and crusty to know exactly what the FCC is doing. And this guy in a blog post came out and said all kinds of weird things like, we do not need the FCC anymore. And if you are from another country or you don't know what the FCC is the body that sort of polices what's going on the internet, on TV. It's the Federal Communications Commission, right? And they also sell off different frequency ranges, for people to use for whatever. Companies buy that. So he came out and said that, do we really need the FCC anymore? Let me read this one out here. Most of the original reasons for having an FCC have gone away because telecommunications network providers and ISPs are rarely, if ever, monopolies. They just, what the fuck? Just what? They're rarely, if ever, monopolies. They rarely, if ever, are not monopolies. Time Warner and Comcast openly say they don't compete with each other. They have like a little agreement. So when you move into an area, you got Comcast, unless you got some local company who's got the balls to stand up and say, we're going to run cable to your house. No, it's what the... No, this is not cool. Donald Trump, Jameson, no, stop this nonsense. I think you guys are...
Dicks?
Dicks, yeah. And you should stop fucking with the internet, for the love of God. Just leave it alone. Stop messing with it. Jameson also doesn't believe in net neutrality or anything like that. Now, guys... I'm gonna attack libertarians right now. Get your fucking pitchforks out and just start stabbing them into my stomach area here. But because I need to be able to talk. But by the time you're finished killing me, you'll be like, oh, wait a second, he had something to say. Now listen, this is what happens when you let the markets take care of themselves. A lot of people are like, stop with the government regulation. Like I know some people in the FCC and Ron Paul, that sort of thing, was like, no, we need fewer regulations. The market will decide for itself. And here's the freaking problem with that. The market can't decide for itself because Comcast has people putting lots of money into the lawmakers' pockets to enable them to work without competition. So they are stacking the deck. And that is why we need, some sort of oversight to step in and be like, stop that crap. You guys are doing anti-consumer things and you need to stop that crap. So I'm sorry, libertarians. In a perfect world where everyone did the right things and then you actually could vote with your dollars by, picking one company over the other, this would be amazing. But the monopolies are in place, and they've been put in place by lobbyists who work for Comcast, Time Warner, and Verizon, who have gone to these different states and these different federal Congress people, whatever, and said, here's a bunch of money. Let's just fucking screw the people. And they're like, oh, cool, thanks for the money. We'll make sure that all these rules get into place. Jameson, go drink some Jameson and pass out in an alley somewhere and stop trying to meddle with our FCC. All right, let's get Justin in here. It's time to talk about some video game stuff. I talk really fast sometimes. Yes.
Happy Consumer Day to you, Logan.
Oh, it's wonderful, huh?
Yeah. Yay, Merry Consumer Miss to you all.
Hey, who's ready to get triggered? Are you ready to get triggered?
I'm always ready to be triggered. So, Xbox recently got into a little bit of trouble because they posted a holiday greetings thing. Oh, did you know that Dead Rising 4 is coming out soon? So they sent this thing out that was supposed to just be zombies and stuff like that. However, the title of their message that they sent out to people was NNNNGGGGHHHAAAA. Which if we spell it out on the screen here, which I hope we will, which I hope it magically appears when I go like this, because
I don't want to do that editing. God damn it. When you read this, they're thinking like a zombie going like... Why wouldn't it be in AARRR?
Yeah, they could have literally started with any letter under the sun aside from this and ended any other way. So basically what they're upset about is that a lot of people construed this as them saying the N-word.
So grunting now on the internet is enough to rile people up.
Yeah, it was enough to trigger some people.
So you can't spank people in Britain. Yeah. You can't go on the internet in America. And in Australia,
you can't do anything in Australia.
You can't do anything, especially
you can't genital joust in Australia.
Not happening.
Never. Believe it or not, Australia has preemptively banned. Australia has banned the game genital jousting because for some reason Australia is not cool with a game that's about penises with buttholes on them running into each other.
All right.
Weird, right?
I've got something right now because every time we talk about anything that's been banned in Australia, it gets it gets like national news, international news, actually. Everyone's like, banned in Australia. So we need to make something that's sort of, like, not really that bad, but it's going to get banned in Australia. We need to make something knowing that it's going to get banned in Australia, and then step 3, profit.
Yeah. What if we make a game that's like a history of Australia, but there's nudity and like blood explosions every like 30 seconds or something? Blood explosions.
You mean like the actual
the actual history of Australia? We wouldn't have to try that hard. Australia already does a really great job of just being super fucking violent in its past.
And then a man was kicked to death by a kangaroo yet again, fresh off the boat from England.
I mean, that's where England sent prisoners, for Christ's sakes. It's already no man's land of unpleasant killing machines.
All right, let's get upbeat, shall we?
Speaking, I know we talked about Steam earlier. Steam, maybe the one good thing to come out of 2016 so far is that Steam is doing their own awards finally, that are going to be nominated and voted for by the Steam community. They have 8 different categories, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because these categories are not your typical like best graphics, best music, best game of the year, best RPG of the year. It's not that stuff. It's like they're kind of creative. So, for instance, like the first one here is the Test of Time Award, and then you go and you vote for older games that it's still today are worth playing. Stuff like we talk about in WoZ. I think that you guys watched WoZ and made a list of all the stuff we talk about.
We'll talk
exactly
later about stealing from us.
Yeah, Gabe, he knows what he's doing.
You come down here and talk to us about this, Gabe.
Yeah, and we can play some Neo Geo.
And Hutch will just pee his pants when he sees you.
Yeah, I'll pee Hutch's pants too.
Yeah, we'll all pee Hutch's
We'll
pants.
stand around.
And it will be banned in Australia.
No peeing of other people's pants.
I don't think UK will allow that either.
No, that's weird.
I say, you're a nation.
You're a nation. Oh my.
Oh.
What were they driving satisfaction banned? If it was just accidental, if you get pissed and then piss, is that okay?
I don't know. So a lot of these categories are really cool though. Like, and the neat thing about this too is that later, when they've accrued, some years, hopefully, if we don't all die, once they accrue a couple, some things, you'll be able to get this really nice database of like, here's all the games that have won the Test of Time awards, and it's like, oh, awesome! Now I have this access to like really awesome community voted games that everybody enjoys. Or like, my favorite is the I've got something in my eye.
Oh, the crying one, yeah.
I'm not crying. There's something in my eye award.
Did any game ever make you cry? You didn't need, or just give you like the willies or the tingles, or
just gave me the
tingles. That's bad.
The only game that ever was like, that I had to that elicited some kind of feeling out of me because I'm a humorless machine. That was me. I don't know. No, you have too much energy. Remember?
Oh, too much energy.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I always look like I'm stoned or.
But I have no emotions. They say.
No, that makes no sense.
I don't know.
I threw a baby down the stairs once.
So speaking of games that did elicit some sort of feeling out of me, when I was younger, I played Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem, and I remember there's this one scene in it where you're like going through the old house and everything like that, and it just cuts to this picture of a like lady in a bathtub that's filled with blood, and she's all dead, and obviously it's a corpse and stuff, and and it's just this really quick flash that happens out of nowhere. So granted, I was younger and things like that, and not as well adjusted as I am now.
Last Thursday.
Yeah, this was today.
Earlier.
Before I came here to shoot this. So anyways, that was the one thing ever that I was like, bah! And like had to put my controller down and be like, cool, walking away, gonna go play with a puppy and do happy sunshine things and just not be a part of this. I've since gotten over it.
Yeah, the Game Within Game Award's kind of cool, and then there's some that I thought were like whatever. Like this one's kind of hipster. Like I thought this game was cool before it won an award. Like, yeah, okay, nice.
You've probably never heard of this game. It's super underground. I was playing Undertale when it was in beta. Best use of a farm animal award, meaning Goat Simulator award.
That's just
Yeah, it's the Goat Simulator.
I don't know,
award.
the bear simulator. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Goat Simulator.
But bear simulator. That's what I call my house on
Is
Thursday
there a
nights.
Centaur Simulator? That'd be cool. Patent pending. Shut up, everyone.
Hey guys, it's time for an inbox. Your favorite thing ever, right? That's what I thought. All right, this first question is from Zach, spelled Z-A-C. Yes, hi team, enjoy the new stuff just as much as the old. I'm doing a Raspberry Pi 3 setup with the Recall box as my emulator for retro gaming. That is a really freaking good choice, like you mentioned in last week's show. I'm looking for a cost-effective and streamlined way to get 2 wireless controllers connected at once. I prefer the Xbox style controller over the PlayStation style, but I'll use whichever I can get for cheaper and less hardware needed to be plugged into the box. Any suggestions? All right, so God, you need to watch my video on this because RetroPie might be easier out of the box for Bluetooth support, but this should work just fine. You'll have to get a Bluetooth, whatever. But a lot of the Bluetooth controllers out there will work on the market. I frankly like going onto AliExpress. You can go on Amazon, but whatever. But on AliExpress, you can get pretty good clones of the Xbox controller if you like. So go over there and take a look. But what you really need to do, just stay tuned for a few more days. I'm going to be sitting down with my recall box, and I'm going to be playing with some different Bluetooth adapters to make sure that they all work. There may be some finagling with some. But the other thing you can do in the meantime is go ahead and Google like which Bluetooth adapters are best for this. And I buy most of my controllers from China because they're like $5-6 with $8 shipping, and then you get like 3 or 4 controllers and you save money on the bundle. A lot of these companies have started importing them to the USA. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to get like an exact clone, but you can usually buy exact clones of Super Nintendo controllers, PlayStation 3 controllers, PlayStation 4 controllers, GameCube. You can usually buy pretty much exact clones of these. And they sometimes don't feel quite as good, like the buttons pop a little bit more than they should, or the D-pad doesn't feel quite as solid, but, you can still play games on it. They're still fun. So go ahead and try putting that into Amazon. Just put in, like, USB Xbox controller, or, you can even use your, possibly even use your Xbox controller, but I haven't tested that out, so I can't say yes or no about it. That was not a very good answer, but my real answer is wait until I test all these things out in a couple of days, and then I'll have some real answers for you. You just gotta watch my video. All right, the next one is from Jesse. Why did I say it that way? All right. Hey, Logan. I recently built myself a PC and don't know what program I should use to avoid viruses, malware. I like something free, but wouldn't mind putting a bit down for something that's worth it. Really, you're probably best off with just like the Windows Defender if that's what you're using, if you're using Windows. And when it comes to, it's weird because that's actually a pretty decently rated program. And they've also partnered up with some new companies, which is a good and a bad thing. I didn't really get into it this episode, but kind of wanted to. But they partnered up with some new companies to help heighten the security when it comes to malware and stuff like that. If you feel like you've got some malware, Malwarebytes is pretty good, but it's a bit heavy-handed for me. The bottom line when it comes to most of this stuff is don't click on shit unless you know what it is. Don't click on any weird bit.lys unless you know where they've been. Don't go to random websites and click on shit. And also, if you get like emails that say like, hey, your PayPal account has been hacked, please click here to fix your password. Don't click on any of the crap. If you get emails that have like random scripts and stuff in them, just don't click on that stuff. If a lot of people say that you get viruses from going to porn websites, but it shows as far as like the studies go and then like the actual stats go, people get more, viruses and that sort of thing from playing around with torrents, playing around with, wares, playing around with just advertisements. I hate to say it, but running ad block can help you get rid of malware because a lot of websites that you go to, well, they're going to be running malicious code in the background or code that's going to be tracking you, and some of that stuff can really mess with your system. So just be careful where you go on the internet, keep it clean. And if something pops up on your screen and says, hey, this website may be bad, do not click ignore. Say like, okay, I need to chill out. Because I've seen a lot of people sit back and be like, this website sucks. And it pops up on the screen and says, don't go here. You shouldn't go here. Don't click this. And you're like, ignore. And it's like, really? Do you want to do this? It's going to catch your computer on fire and you're going to catch a virus. And you're like, yes, I want to go to this website. And you click yes again. You're trying to get some stupid, free copy of Adobe Photoshop or something. And the next thing you know, you get a virus and you're like, Windows sucks. I got a virus. What the fuck? Don't be that guy. All right. Next up is a question from Mart. Mart should open a store called the Mart Store. Mart. He could sell. Ooh, if Mart sold stores, he could have Mart's Store Mart and sell stores. Does anybody? Can you just go buy?
He could open up a bigger version. It could be Mart's Store Mart Superstore. Sorry, Mart.
Wow. Oh, God. Top 3 metal bands go. I should have read this before I got on here. I don't know. All right, we'll do Monomarth. We'll do Klabatamon from Germany. Klabautamon, to say it correctly. And then Moon Sorrow. But, God, 3, that's not enough. Moon Sorrow may come in and out of the top 3. Jesus. That's rough, dude. All right, that's enough of that. Now it's time to tell you guys what we're looking for on Black Friday, so let's get Justin back out here for that. Go ahead.
Holiday, cherished American tradition. So my first thing that I would be looking for is kind of to shore up my D&D book collection. So
What do you need here? Is there anything you really need?
I
got the Monsters Guide, right?
Oh yeah, I have that in the Volos. Like, come on. The other thing is like a HTC Vive.
Oh yeah.
I would like one of those. I would like to play with a reality that's not this one. So one of those things, and I know that they're going to be, $100 off or something.
Right.
So one of those guys. I wouldn't mind playing around with one of those Cosmo things. I think they look kind of cool. They're like a little interactive chibi robot friend, which is kind of neat. And then the other thing I would want is Lego upon Lego. Which is how you build with them.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy some of these Lepin.
Lepin.
I'm gonna be a dirty bastard and buy some cheap Chinese knockoff crappy Lego.
Star Winners.
Yeah. So if you go over to AliExpress, there's a brand called Lepin, and they make surprisingly okay Lego copies. Now check out this giant Super Star Destroyer right here.
Yeah. Oh, that's...
This thing is ridiculous. This is like the several. I mean, it's 3,208 pieces. Mm-hmm. But look at that crap. Look at that ripoff right there.
Yeah.
So now here's the thing. Lego
Winners.
took some action against these guys, and action in a Chinese court. I'm not sure how the Chinese court is going to rule. Usually they rule in favor of the Chinese company. Mm-hmm. But if they do rule in favor of Lego, this stuff will come off the shelves next year and will probably be worth some money because it was a pretty good knockoff. These things, I mean, like a lot of the characters are hollow on the inside instead of having the, like the more, I guess, structural integrity and that sort of thing.
That's a patented design that they can't copy technically.
Yeah, maybe it is, but their actual Lego or their Lego brick compatible stuff is pretty spot on. Their paint's not quite as good, but I kind of here's the feeling I have on this. I don't think you should own one of these unless you own the original. I kind of feel like it's the same idea as like having an emulator. You should own the original in the box. But if you're going to buy this one, that's how I feel about it, because it's a direct knockoff. And I can't believe Disney's not yelling about the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, right. Disney's usually like first to sue.
You can get like the Black Sea Barracuda, which is like an old set from like the 90s or whatever. You can get that for like $45, whereas it's on eBay. It's like $200 for the real Lego. So I'm going to probably grab that one and put them side by side. And here's another idea: is you can keep the Lego in the box because it'll just keep accruing in value, and then build this one and put it on display. Yeah. And then people will come over and be like, "Oh, cool!" And you don't even tell them it's Lepin until you have an expert over who's like, "The hell is this?"
Actually, those are Lepin. The neat thing about Lego is that over the past 10 years or something, Lego has appreciated in value more than gold. Yeah. Right. So, even out-of-box Lego and stuff like that has accrued more value than gold, which is kind of neat.
So that I'll be looking at some of these and just seeing if they drop in price. They're already, a nice low price. I'll look around and see what I can find. The other thing I'm really looking at is this thing. Look at that thing. That's the Ursa Mini 4.6K. We've been talking about wanting to do some narrative content. Yeah. He and I have both been writing little scripts and stuff like that. And I would love to start producing some of that, but we'll need one of these first. And I'm going to sell everything that's not nailed down until Hutch goes, "What the hell are you selling all this shit for?"
Then we'll tell him it's for this, and then he'll be okay.
He'll be like, "Do we really need that right now?" And I'll be like,
"Logan." We have been talking about getting some shoulder mounts for our camera and stuff like that. Like, we might just look into some shoulder mounts.
Yeah, we can get back some of the ones that were stolen from us, which are going to be coming back soon. Yay!
Oh, yay! Getting our own stuff back.
Yay!
Woo. So that's our show for today. As you may have noticed, this came out on a Friday instead of on a Saturday this week because we wanted to do the Black Friday thing. So you're not going to see a Crit Show tomorrow, but thank you for thinking about us.
Watch it again tomorrow.
Yeah,
you
wake
up
double
Saturday
watch
morning. Yeah.
Right? Get your friends together, we'll double watch it. Anyways, feel free to check out all these really awesome things over here. As we said earlier, we did get a bunch of cool new t-shirts and everything in the store, so that's really great.
We brought back the scientist t-shirts like Einstein and
nice.
And that sort of thing. We have Einstein and then what's his name?
Tesla.
Yeah. Those are back in stock right now.
Including some Crit TV shirts.
This is back in stock.
Yep, we've got the...
Yeah, I love the Intolerance Will Not Be Tolerated
Me
shirt.
too, that one's really neat.
So guys, grab that up. A bunch of people have been grabbing them already, so go ahead and grab those up. And
when you check us out on YouTube, be sure to hit that little bell notification next to the subscribe thing.
Very important.
So that way you get notified when you get new stuff, because the new algorithm and stuff is kind of messing with some things.
Now, guys, I'll say one thing. The Crit Show is new. It's our hardware videos obviously get more hits because that's the content people are used to. But if you enjoy this, please share it. Go, share it with your friends. Say, Hey, check this out. These guys are ridiculous. If you hate it, share it and tell everyone how much you hate it, because out of that, some people will look and be like, no, it's not that bad. I actually kind of like it. And they'll
I'm not gonna
watch.
say it
So
in front of my friends though, but I actually kind of enjoyed this.
don't tell anybody. Just sit in your bedroom and like, this is good. And walk outside and be like, no, it sucks. I'm elite.
Yeah.
I'm totally elite.
That'll keep your edge lords in check. So also, please mention to us what you're looking forward to in your comments on our forums. We want to hear about what things you guys are hunting for Black Friday and Cyber Monday too. So we look forward to hearing from you.
I don't. I'm joking. Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. Message him in the inbox now. Do it. Bye.